Was it worth the sacrifice? A betrayed heart story. Imagine giving someone everything you have, your time, your money, and your love, only to have it thrown back in your face. A relationship that once seemed perfect slowly crumbles as betrayal and mistreatment take hold. This is the story of one woman's emotional journey and the questions that haunt her after walking away. Hi, my name is Mia, and this story I'm about to share has me questioning everything. If you've ever felt like you've given your all to someone only for them to take advantage of you, you'll want to listen to my story. I'm still trying to figure out if I did the right thing. It all started when I met this guy, let's call him Ethan, back in high school. I was young, naive, but I knew one thing for sure: I loved him. He wasn't like the other guys at school. He was quiet, thoughtful, and he made me feel special. We had a bond and I thought it would last forever. But looking back now, I can see that I was only seeing what I wanted to see, not the full picture. After graduation, I was still dedicated to him, even though things between us weren't what they seemed. I had saved up quite a bit of money during school, and I didn't expect anything from Ethan. I didn't need him to give me anything, and I certainly didn't want him to feel like he had to take care of me. But for some reason, that didn't stop me from going the extra mile for him. Whenever I had a break from school, I would visit him. I would cook meals for him, buy food with my own money, clean his place, and even bring gifts for his family. I told myself it was just love. I didn't need him to do the same for me. But looking back now, I see that I was giving more than I should have. The first red flag appeared shortly after I finished high school. One day I showed up at his apartment, but something was off. There was a woman there who he claimed was just his cousin. She seemed friendly at first, but there was something in her smile that made me uneasy. Every time I came over, she acted strangely. Sometimes she would ignore me, other times she would be overly nice. I tried not to make a big deal out of it, but deep down I knew something wasn't right. Then came the phone calls. Ethan and this so-called cousin started spending hours on the phone together, talking about things that sounded too personal. When I asked Ethan about it, he brushed it off, saying they were just talking about family stuff. But every time she called, I could feel the tension. I could sense the connection they shared. And one night, she called him so late and he couldn't talk because I was there. She even told him, "Good night, sweet dreams, send me kisses." That was the moment it hit me. Ethan wasn't being honest. I confronted him, but he denied everything. He told me she was just a friend and there was nothing between them. But I wasn't convinced. My gut was screaming at me that something was off. I knew he was hiding something from me. Then, just as I thought things couldn't get worse, another lady called me, asking if Ethan was my boyfriend. I said yes, but little did I know I wasn't the only one. Ethan was seeing someone else behind my back. But when I confronted him, he claimed she was just a friend. My world felt like it was falling apart. I kept pushing him to get a job, to work for something so that we could both have a future together. But every time I brought it up, we'd end up fighting and he'd become violent. He would slap me, hurt me. I stayed quiet because I loved him, because I thought that's what love was supposed to feel like. Then one day he asked me to hold on to some money for him. He said it belonged to a friend. It seemed innocent enough, but looking back, I realized it was just another way for him to control me. It wasn't until the day he slapped me that everything changed. That was the moment I knew I couldn't take it anymore. I had given him everything: my time, my money, my love. I had starved myself so he could eat, I had cooked for him, cleaned for him, and I got nothing in return. Nothing but lies and abuse. I told him that I had had enough. I ended it. I couldn't stay in a relationship where I was constantly being disrespected, used, and abused. I left, and for a moment I felt free. But not for long. Ethan called me the next day, apologizing, begging me to come back. But I knew better. I wasn't going back. Days passed and I tried to move on. But there was still a part of me that wondered if I had done the right thing. Should I have fought for him? Should I have given him more chances? And then, when he called for the money I had spent, I gave him what was left. I purposely spent some of it, because I was done. I didn't owe him anything anymore. Now, I'm left with the question: did I do the right thing? Was it worth all the sacrifices I made? The love, the time, the money, was it all worth it if it ended in betrayal and heartbreak? I want to hear your thoughts. Was I right to walk away? Was I foolish for ever trusting him so completely? I need to know if I made the right decision.